Welcome to Books in Some, your go-to for bite-sized book summaries.
Pleasure Activism by Adrienne Maree Brown. Pleasure activism is the practice of self-actualization through the practice of embracing pleasure and feeling good. It is a way to transcend oppression and remind yourself that you are free. It can lead to self-realization. Burlesque can teach us about loving our bodies, and science fiction can provide hope for the future. Pleasure is about feeling whole and satisfied, not about indulging in excess. It can be political, especially if you identify as a woman, femme, LGBTQ+, or have had to live in an oppressive environment. The author has had to learn ways to understand and move through childhood traumas, and finding pleasure and finding a way to her yes has been central to that process. Alana Davich-Cyril's story is a great example of everything in moderation. After being diagnosed with late-stage cancer, finding pleasure and experiencing satisfaction despite feeling sick became more important than ever. Thanks to friendly healthcare workers, her friends, and her loving partner, she was able to gradually bring pleasure back into her life. The author's primary inspirations for pleasure activism were Audre Lorde's 1978 piece, Uses of the Erotic as Power. The author first encountered this essay in college, and it was transformative in teaching her how erotic pleasure can help people let go of pain and repression. The erotic can be a powerful form of pleasure, but it's not limited to sex. The author would like to shift and broaden the definition of erotic. Too often, we tend to equate erotic with pornography, but unless you're watching feminist porn, there's a good chance pornography is actually doing the opposite. The erotic can be expressed in several ways, one of which is burlesque. Taja Lindley is a performance artist who uses burlesque as a medium of expression to cultivate pleasure and connect it with the political. As someone who experienced childhood trauma and abuse, Taja believes the body holds onto these memories in a way that's connected to how the brain operates. To perform burlesque, you have to love your body and experience freedom while being completely present within their body. Embracing pleasure can get you closer to what you really want in life, and the author began opening up to a new way of looking at life through the work of Audre Lorde. The author has had good experiences with drugs, but has also found inspiration in the work of Toni Cade Bambara, a Black author, social activist, and filmmaker. The author believes that drugs should be legalized, as their criminalization is mainly serving to ruin Black and brown futures. Marijuana, in particular, is often used to trigger pleasure or relieve pain, but legalization of marijuana in places throughout the United States does not make it any less of a political issue. The key message is to assess options and check for that yes when facing life's challenges and opportunities. The author has used weed to alleviate physical and emotional pain, to feel more awake and connected, and to make it a little easier to move through what she describes as a wounded world and long tantrum. She has also had transcendent experiences with ecstasy and mushrooms, which have helped her to feel more connected to both the world around her and her own body. However, she is aware that she has addictive tendencies, and that there's a history of substance abuse in her family. She has found a lot of guidance from the Harm Reduction Coalition and a course called Somatics and Social Justice by Generative Somatics. The key message is that Somatics is another way to connect to your body and be more open to receiving life's pleasures. Somatics is a type of therapeutic bodywork that helps people let go of their attachments to the past, feel their feelings more deeply, and find the hurt that they've been carrying with them. Through Somatics, the author developed a deeper understanding of herself and the beautiful vastness within her, and a more profound sense of empathy for others. To create a better world, we need to strengthen our empathy and our awareness of how so much pain stems from social inequalities, oppression, and racism. To build a better future, we must embrace Octavia Butler's radical honesty and prioritize pleasure. Pleasure has the power to heal, easing us back from the edge of being overwhelmed by life and letting us know we are liberated individuals. Pleasure activism has the potential to facilitate this and help us envision a better world. This book discusses the importance of embracing Octavia Butler's radical honesty and prioritizing pleasure in order to build a better future. Butler is an influential figure in the world of science fiction writing and Afrofuturism, and her work envisions vibrant communities in the future that transcend race, ethnicity, and species. She believes that pleasure is an intrinsic part of our survival, and that we must have a future that puts it front and center. Pleasure activism is about connecting to the pleasures that raise our self-awareness and allow us to realign with our body, as well as with those around us. Through therapeutic practices like somatics and a moderate, purposeful use of drugs, we can get closer to understanding the pain that holds us back and to figuring out how to move toward a more enriching future.
We hope you found this summary helpful in your listening journey. If you're interested in diving deeper into the topic or getting your hands on the whole book, be sure to check the description below where we've included links to the book and other related products that may be useful to you. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to stay updated on our latest book summaries. And feel free to leave a comment with any suggestions or requests for books you'd like us to cover. Thanks again for tuning in and happy listening.